Welcome back to Dark Corner's Physical Media Reviews. We're looking at Imprint's new release of 1971's Twins of Evil on 4K and Blu-ray, restored by ViaVision from the original 35mm negative. Looking fantastic. The night scenes in the forest are so crystal clear it almost feels like midday. Oh wait. Twins of Evil could easily be written off as a symptom of Hammer Films' decline. Losing their audience, they increasingly fell back on blood,
Satan!
and naked ladies. Desperate for any gimmick to sell their films.
Twins? That would be something different.
Former Playboy models Mary and Madeline Collinson were ideal casting as Maria and Frieda. One good,
Frieda, stop it.
one wicked.
I'll find a way.
But for all its exploitation trappings, this is also a serious horror film, playing two types of evil against each other.
We seek the servants of the devil.
Well, you found one. Me.
Damien Thomas's degenerate Count Karnstein, and the puritanical hypocrisy of Gustav Weil.
She is a child of the devil, but we ask thee in thy great goodness to save her soul.
Cult favourite Judy Jarvis there, behind Peter Cushing, returning to Hammer only 2 months after the death of his wife to play perhaps the most chilling villain of his career.
Your parents are not yet cold in their graves.
Weil's brutal, unforgiving Christianity, a world away from the gentler brand favoured by Cushing himself.
And to purify their spirits, so that they may find mercy at the seat of the Lord, by burning them!
This is the third film in Hammer's loose Karnstein trilogy, although the lady herself gets only a cameo.
Mekala.
And yes, the film has its share of gore, of cleavage, and the subtle sexuality of Hammer's earlier horrors gets a lot less subtle. But this is tightly plotted, and at least some of the characters have a sophistication you can't take for granted in Hammer of this era. David Warbeck's Anton is hunter, historian, composer, a man who despises Weil's puritanical Brotherhood for their treatment of women. He could be hero by numbers. But
Maria is very nice, probably much nicer than Frieda. But Frieda has a kind of fire inside her.
even he prefers a bad girl. In his own way, he has the same preconceptions as the men he hates. It's rather irritating that he swiftly, easily, and predictably switches affection to good girl Maria, but the basic message remains.
Anyone young and pretty, because then their morals are questionable.
And I'm not afraid of saying message. Alongside the blood and boobs, this has much to say on religion.
They say she has many husbands.
She's a creature of the devil. Wicked.
Immoral.
On class.
You are arrogant, Count Karnstein, because you have the protection of the court, of the Emperor himself.
And on misogyny.
Don't you know men like that? Didn't you ever notice them in the park when we were little girls?
It's Arthur Miller's The Crucible if he'd thought to add vampires and Playboy models, and he's still kicking himself.
Perhaps I don't like good men.
I kid, but I do think this is a film no one takes seriously, and I do understand why.
They have crosses and stakes.
But put those preconceptions to one side, and it is intelligent, serious horror.
There is blood on your lips.
Centred on a terrific character performance as Cushing's cold, intractable Weil begins to realise his own crimes.
I have tried always to be a good man.
Presumably we will at some point get a definitive box set of this from Hammer, so I suppose this is in lieu, but Imprint has really thrown down the gauntlet with a stellar package. Wayne Kinsey walks us through his Hammer props collection, name-checking effects artists like Les Bowie and revealing deleted scenes. Kat Ellinger looks at Sheridan Le Fanu's Carmilla through the lens of satanic feminism. There's an hour-long interview with Damien Thomas. Apparently the vampire fang fitting was a big deal for Hammer actors. And an interview with director John Howe talking about the casting of the Collinsons and Hammer's cancelled film of Vampirella. Feature-length making-of documentary, The Flesh and the Fury, exposing Twins of Evil, and a shorter making-of by Jonathan Rigby, who also features in one of the commentary tracks alongside Kevin Lyons. The other has Kim Newman and Stephen Jones. Both, as you'd expect, enthusiastic, informative, great stuff. There's also the isolated music track, which I think is a great feature, but never listened to.
Some men like a musical evening. Weil and his friends find their pleasure through burning innocent girls.
And an accompanying booklet with publicity material and production stills. They really have pushed the boat out.
You don't mind, do you? If we play with Goethe?
I'm as guilty as anyone else of misjudging Twins of Evil because I first saw it when I was a young man and I didn't see beyond the Collinsons.
Look, what do you see?
But the more you watch, the more you see. This is not Hammer's best, but as I have said about other of their late films, even as they were struggling, you can see people trying to make the best of a bad job. To make this more than exploitation, more than the sum of its parts. With Twins of Evil, they absolutely succeed. Look beneath the surface. It's not perfect, but it is powerful. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on this and the other films of Hammer's Karnstein trilogy? Let us know in the comments below.